One of the first Junji Ito stories I read was The Enigma of Amigara Fault, which is a short story about university researchers discovering these weird human-shaped holes that seem to be enticing people to enter. The other side of the fault is discovered, and when they investigate what's inside, they see the misshapen and distorted blobs of the unfortunate individuals who entered, slowly coming towards them. The story ends. Junji is the king of horror manga, with iconic and terrifying visuals that would make a chill run down a ghoul's spine. His stories place characters in these horrible and horrific scenarios where they've essentially already lost, or they have no hope of escape. It's already over for most of the characters before the story even starts. And when it ends, you're left wondering just what terrible things are being done to these characters. August 12, 2014. A demo is released on the PlayStation Store. Created by the unknown 7780 Studios, was a horror game by the name of PT. The game sees a character traverse through a repeating hallway being haunted by a ghostly woman. The demo was terrifying, gut-wrenching, and had some of the worst scares seen in a video game. In fact, the demo was more terrifying than 99% of horror games. The game also had a lot of weird and cryptic puzzles that slowly but surely were solved.
In fact, Hideo Kojima, creator of the game and demo, figured it would take people at least a week to solve this puzzle. It was solved within a few hours of release. It was solved within a few hours!
Revealing a groundbreaking cutscene. PT was in fact a demo for a new Silent Hill game. A game being created by the brilliant Hideo Kojima of Metal Gear fame, and the film director Guillermo del Toro, and the king of horror manga himself, Junji Ito.
The gap in the door.
To say I was excited was such an understatement. The overly creative mind of Kojima combining the unimaginable horrors of Junji. I mean, this game would surely be so terrifying that the cover would have to come with some sort of warning label. Silent Hills was cancelled. This was my first introduction to the Junji Ito Curse. Junji Ito is cursed. Well, in reality, he's actually a very highly regarded man with a wife and kids, and is widely loved. It's more like his work is cursed, or maybe anything that his name is attached to outside of the manga he actually creates himself. You see, popular manga usually always get anime adaptations, and with Junji it's no different. The issue is, all the anime adaptations for Junji seem to range from terrible to average at best, falling way short of the masterpieces that are his manga stories. Let's look at the most recent adaptation. The trailer alone for this adaptation was super promising, with the guy who did the music for Hereditary having his haunting music playing over some of the most beautiful interpretations of Junji's art we've seen. The project looked super good, but as the years drew on, doubt that the anime would ever see the light of day grew. But in 2023, we saw the release of Junji Ito's Maniac. Japanese Tales of the Macabre. Fuck do you say? I don't know. An anime adaptation of some of Junji's stories. And while I love seeing some of my favorite stories of Ito in anime form, the series was honestly pretty bland. A few good episodes, but it felt off. Was it the art? The animation? We also saw Junji Ito's collection in 2018 with a lot of the same issues. 2024, after 5 or so years of waiting, after the incredible trailers, episode 1 of Uzumaki was released, and my god, it was actually amazing. The animation bringing Junji's work to life, the visuals terrifying, the unthinkable happened. Junji's art finally faithfully adapted and given the quality and respect it deserves. Then we watched episode 2. The curse had struck again. In all seriousness, Junji's work might not be cursed as it is just hard to adapt itself. A big appeal of Junji's manga is the bizarre and unusual visuals and our brain kind of filling in the gaps. So when that world is brought to life in animation form and it doesn't fit our own interpretations, it can feel jarring and off-putting, and not in the good way that the manga portrays. Look at Berserk. Another great example of a manga held as one of, if not the greatest of all time, itself has had a lot of rough adaptations. And it happens a lot. Some manga just find a hard time translating to animation, especially when those animation studios find themselves with behind-the-scenes issues like that of the 2024 Uzumaki, which in all honesty actually gives me a lot of hope for future potential adaptations, as that first episode was really as close as we've ever gotten to Junji's work. And even with that quality drop, I honestly really liked that series, and I thought the animators really made the best out of a bad situation. Is Junji cursed? I mean, his involvement with the PT demo was apparently nothing, and his potential involvement with Silent Hills was a maybe at best. In reality, Junji didn't curse Silent Hills, it's more Konami just sucks.
これは本格的なモンスターを描かれてますね。
And it's not as if his work hasn't found some success in animation and live action forms. I just think it might be Junji's fans holding him and his work in such high regard that anything that can't give us that same feeling as turning the page to some of the most horrible shit ever, we're just gonna get disappointed. But maybe, just maybe, his work actually is cursed. And we're in our own Junji story, in which we never get the perfect adaptation of his work. Oh shit.